Hello everyone and welcome to Retail Archaeology. Today we're going to be taking a look at a Sears liquidation sale. Now this particular Sears location that's liquidating is the Sears located at Fiesta Mall. I had done a video at this location back in July when they had hung up this weird banner that said open for the community, but it was announced in November that they would be closing this location. So it's obviously not going to be open for the community for much longer. When the store's closure was announced, the close date was given as sometime in January, which is when this video was filmed. I wanted to come in and film it towards the end of the liquidation so I could really see what the bones of the store look like. A lot of the store merchandise is pretty picked over. There's a lot of empty shelves and stuff like this, but there's also actually a lot of merchandise left. And what surprised me was it's spread out all over the 2 floors of this store. You would think they would kind of consolidate things into a smaller area as the amount of stuff got less and less, but no, it's spread out all over. This kind of cracked me up. Easter baskets? No, not really. It doesn't look like Easter baskets at all. Seems kind of desperate. And you can see they are pretty much selling everything in the store. There are just fixtures and shelves and all kinds of stuff all over the place for sale. This is the first Sears liquidation sale I've been to, and I didn't realize that they went to this extent. I mean, it seems like they pulled stuff out of the back. There's just all kinds of fixtures here. Even these old, banged up, dingy filing cabinets, these must have been in offices in the back for years. This Sears opened up in 1979 along with the mall, so it's been here for quite a while. Like these display cases, for example, these are pretty banged up. I don't even know if these were on the sales floor or if these were just being stored in the back and they pulled them out. And there's that ugly conference table there. And then even just office supplies, all this stuff. This really looks like a Goodwill to me. Like large parts of the Sears look like just a, very disorganized thrift store. I mean, they were really trying to squeeze like every dollar they can out of this liquidation, it seems like. I bet these were used to decorate the store during Christmas. That big metal desk looks like it's from 1979. I don't know if they're going to be able to sell all these fixtures before the liquidation is over. There's just a lot of stuff here. Now, this cracked me up. I recognized the logo on this counter, but I couldn't think of what it was. And then I looked up on my phone, and that is the Miracle Ear logo. This is the old Miracle Ear service counter that was in the kiosk, and I don't think that kiosk has been open for a while, but like once again they're just pulling all kinds of crap out and throwing it on the floor for sale. And here's the kids section, and there's a little bit of merchandise left here as well, but once again you can see things are just kind of really spread out. And with so much stuff being gone now, you can see like the stripes in the carpet and just how worn and old it is. Thanks for shopping at Sears. I had a chuckle at that sign. It's more like thanks for scavenging at Sears. I mean, look at that. It's a mess. People are kind of ridiculous at liquidation sales. I don't think they realize that at the end of the day, someone still has to clean that up, even though the store is closing. And here's the entrance out into the mall, and you can see the gates down. That's actually the case at the 2 anchors that are left. This Sears, which is closing soon, and also the Dillard's Clearance Center has its gate down as well. And that doesn't surprise me if you're familiar with Fiesta Mall anymore. I think besides the Sears that's liquidating and the Dillard's Clearance Center, there might be 1 or 2 other stores left open in the mall, and then that's it. And the mall itself is actually scheduled to close in January. And here's the mattress department. You can see they're liquidating all the floor display models. I don't know if I'd want to buy a floor display mattress that people have been coming in and laying on all day. And then here is the merchandise pickup area, and I think that monitor and that little kiosk in there are like the only 2 things in the store that aren't for sale. And here's the home goods area. Shower curtains, stuff like that. Well, they had shower curtains. It looks like this area has been pretty well picked over. But you can see just more, half-assembled shelving units and display units and fairly dingy carpet and boxes all over the place. This has to be probably one of the most disorganized liquidations I've ever seen. I mean, I've been to more than one store that's going out of business, and like I said, they tend to kind of shove everything into one direction, and they're not doing that here. So you can just kind of wander around and see how aged the store is. You can really see it in the carpet there with all the debris on the carpet, and then there's stripes basically where the display units used to be. And here is the watch and jewelry repair area, and I was actually pretty excited to film this because every Sears that I filmed, I've had a hard time filming this because it's actually always busy, or there's usually an employee right there at the counter. But as you can see from the sign here in a minute, this is actually closed, but it looks like there's quite a bit of stuff for sale still in the case. But yeah, as you can see from the sign there, this is permanently closed now. And here's the kitchen appliance area where they have their refrigerators, ovens, microwaves, stuff like that. But there were quite a few appliances here still left. This was one of the sections of the store that was still fairly populated with merchandise. There were still quite a few people looking at stuff over here, though. This was one of the areas that was still kind of busy, so it was kind of hard to film. I didn't want to film a lot of customers. But once we get past the refrigerators and stuff, though, you can see past those vacuums, like the electronics area, which is right here, is pretty well picked over. And you can see kind of the scars there from the shelves. This is where the TVs were when they sold TVs. And you can see the power strips there. They were used to power all of that. Actually, there were a few TVs for sale. I think there was 3 or 4 TVs in boxes still left for sale. They were marked down quite a bit. Now we're on to the second floor of the Sears, and here this is the jewelry, and this is kind of funny because in my last video that was covering the last Sears Big Book catalog that was published in 1993, and we look at the jewelry section. I made a joke about the jewelry in that part of the catalog still being at Sears today, and you look at that jewelry, that's the same jewelry, so that's pretty funny. The second floor of the Sears actually had quite a bit more product left as well. I was kind of surprised when I got up here. This is a lot of product left for the end stages of your liquidation. There are large spaces still on the second floor that are empty, or they're like this corner back here that's just full of displays and retail racks and stuff like that. This was weird to walk around back here. And through those curtains, that's where I believe the Sears optical department was, and that Miracle Ear kiosk that used to exist here where that counter was from, we saw earlier, I think was through those curtains. But that was all empty now. I was tempted to buy mannequins, but I have no idea what in the hell I would do with those. And there were also more people on the second floor shopping the evening that we were here, but still not as many as I expected. They were even selling the floor tiles from display areas. So many people have probably walked on these. It's kind of an interesting piece of Sears history right there. And here's the second floor entrance out to the mall, and again, the gates are down because Fiesta Mall for the most part is empty. I think there's 2 or 3 stores left in there. But we'll walk over there and take a quick peek and see what we can see through the gates. It's pretty dark because there's really hardly any lights on or anything. And this gate's kind of tinted as well. But there's a peek into Fiesta Mall. The Pepsi machine's still illuminated, and you can kind of see the Dillards all the way across there. I Kinda wish this was in my size. But do you know what this reminds me of?
Yep.
Here's another large empty area. I don't know what this section used to be. It's kind of hard to tell. It looks like some sort of men's apparel, though, if I had to guess. And ocean of luggage there. I love that security CRT display. There's no way of knowing how long that's been there or how many hours of use that monitor has, but it was pretty cool to see. And it's funny that it's monitoring just pretty much a completely empty area. I mean, there's really no product in here to monitor for security purposes except for a few men's sweaters. This area was kind of eerie too because it's back off here in the corner by itself, and it was just really empty and there was nobody else back here and it was super quiet. And of course I had to go see the CRT monitor that I saw. Here's some more merchandise kind of haphazardly strewn about. Not gonna lie, I was kind of bummed out that none of those were in my size. But yeah, you can see there, the second floor was a little bit busier than the first floor. You can see some shoppers around there. I think this last shot here is kind of interesting because it shows how much stuff is left, even though this Sears is at the end of a liquidation that started at the beginning of November and it's now the beginning of January. Anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this tour of the Sears liquidation at Fiesta Mall, and thanks for watching.
There's more for your life. Cheryl Teagues is calling me. Gotta have it. We agree.